To get you guys ready for Halloween, I've got a short, scary story for you guys called Reflection, written by Jesse Reffsin and illustrated by Sasaki. Rain whipped at Catherine Halton's window as she huddled frightened in her bed. Though the power was out and wind howled fiercely outside, Catherine's fear was not from the storm. It was from a single, methodical noise that punctuated the room, the insistent tap of a finger on glass. Not from her window, from her mirror. The room was dark, but there was just enough light for Catherine to distinguish the gleam of the looking glass across the room. There she could make out faint movement, just her reflection. She reached for the glass on her nightstand, hoping the water would calm her shaky nerves. But at the same instant, a crack of lightning filled the sky. In the momentary flash, Catherine caught a glimpse of her reflection, this time glaring out from the surface of the glass, its grin stretched wide with malice. Catherine dropped the glass in fright. It shattered against the room's aged oak floorboards, and water cut a jagged puddle across the floor, dark as blood in the dim room. Catherine silently cursed as she ran to her bathroom for a towel. She was careful to avoid the bathroom mirror, but she couldn't help catching the erratic movement of her reflection in the corner of her eye, beckoning her to look back. As she hurried to her bed, the same insistent tapping followed her from the bathroom. Catherine moved quickly to sop up the spill, but even here she found her reflection staring back menacingly from the dark pool of water. Catherine tossed the towel down to cover it. She never before realized how unavoidable her own reflection was. Mirrors, glass, water. There was no escape from the dark double, wordlessly stalking her while the storm raged outside. What did it want? The noise floated to Catherine across the deep shadows of the room in response. There was no way around it. She took a deep breath and looked up at the full-length mirror opposite her bed. Her reflection loomed in the glass, almost ghostly pale in the dim moonlight. It crooked a finger at her, motioning her over. It dawned on Catherine that the only peace she'd find that night would be in doing as it wanted. She walked slowly across the room. The floorboards creaked under her weight. The storm pelted the window in a torrent of rain. Up close, Catherine's reflection was identical to her, except for the sinister look on its face. It was deeply unnerving. Catherine thought of all the times she'd examined her reflection, unaware that it might be staring back at her. The reflection brought her back from the unsettling train of thoughts as it pantomimed touching its finger to the glass. It wanted her to tap the mirror. At Catherine's hesitation, a clap of thunder drew her attention to the window. Her reflection was there as well, staring out from the glass pane, a reminder that there was no escape. Catherine made up her mind and slowly raised her trembling hand. The reflection nodded approvingly as Catherine's finger struck the cold mirror. Wind pounded insistently against the side of the old house, as if trying to draw Catherine's attention too. The reflection stared. Catherine brought her finger down again. The storm outside intensified, the sky splitting wide to bleed its contents down against Catherine's window. Perhaps it was her imagination, but it seemed her reflection licked its lips in anticipation of her finger contacting the glass one last time. Catherine brought her finger down. Lightning cracked, giving Catherine one last look at the deep hunger stretched across her reflection's face. Then, as quickly as it had come, the light vanished. The next morning, the rain had given way to sunlight, now filtering warmly into the room. A slender, brown-haired girl slept peacefully in the bed. But Catherine, hoarse from screaming through the long dark night, was not at rest. Though her fists were bruised and bloodied, she pounded hopelessly on the thick surface of the mirror. No matter how she tried, she could produce only the slightest noise in the world beyond the glass.